Can't wait to watch the Vikings destroy the Browns. What the fuck? About time the Browns were the Browns.
And he's loose!
Hey guys, what's up? JDoZ back here with another Vikings game recap. So let's start off with the actual game recap and start off with the first quarter, which did not start out very well. Our very first possession, we're driving, we're running the ball okay, and then Keenum throws it, tipped by the lineman from the Browns, and it's intercepted.
Keenum had it tipped at the line, popped in the air, and intercepted by the...
Who would have guessed the Browns intercept us on our very first drive, and then very quickly, the Browns get a 20-yard run by...
2% of his passes, but if you're against a team like Minnesota that likes to rush the passer, a screen is a good first
To
call.
the 10, to the 5, to the...
Howell, and this was led by a missed tackle by Anthony Harris, so the lack of Andrew Sendejo shined early. Anthony Harris, that was the only real blemish, but it was a big one. It sprung him for a 20-yard plus touchdown. Browns 6, I believe, maybe 7, Vikings 0. Alright, sorry, alright, second drive. Keenum does not look good early, has a few bad throws. We punt it. But our very best play to start off the game, the Browns muff the punt.
High and somewhat short, fair catch called for, and diving catch, and he muffed it!
And now also we have good field position as we are get to a 3rd and 15 though. But then we have a big catch by Adam Thielen, but
Keenum inside.
Then we have to settle for your field goal. The Browns have to punt on their next drive. The Browns D makes us look pathetic when we get the ball back and we have to punt. The Browns D looks pretty good. If they have their top two guys, McCourty and their first overall pick, can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. But if they, Myles Garrett, there we go. If they have those two, this game could have went to the Browns. Next drive, Jerick McKinnon checks in and he runs well. We have a big catch by Adam Thielen, but a chop block. Back to Thielen, first down. Passing interference, another first. Murray not doing good though. First down drop by Rudy, so then we have to punt. Our defense starts to look good with Browns punt, and Jerick McKinnon still looking good, and touchdown wide open is Adam Thielen in the back of the end zone.
Looking, throwing, in the back of the end zone, touchdown!
The Browns got to cover him. And then blocked PAT, which sucks, but hey, it is not on our format this time. Next play, Browns get a big pass on Xavier Rhodes.
Gonna go deep down the far sideline. It is caught!
WTF. Browns get a big shovel pass.
Push it, work the middle of the field if you have the team. Kaiser shuffles it ahead to Crowell. Penalty marker is down. It's Crowell inside the 10. Close.
What the fuck? Quarterback sneak touchdown.
Gonna keep it to the end zone for the touchdown.
What the fuck? It's the Browns. Oh, I totally forgot this. The Vikings also got a field goal before half, and the Browns fumbled. I don't know how I forgot this in my recap. Probably was distracted by someone. But we go 3 now. Kaiser and the Browns are running well. I'm pissed at this point, and they get another field goal. But then we get a big catch by Thielen. Throwing to the running backs is good. It's through either McKinnon and Murray.
Keenum for McKinnon. McKinnon with blocking. Out across the...
Gets involved in the pass game a little bit as the Browns are in their shell defense, not trying to give up any deep balls. So those little passes, you can get 10 yards to the running back, take that all day. Then we eventually get a touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, a little jet sweep.
And here is Jerick.
And the 2-point conversion is also good. We force a 3-and-out for the Browns. The offense gets helped by some pass interference penalties. Touchdown Rudolph.
Keenum, lots of time. End zone, leaping grab.
The Browns go 3-and-out. We go 3-and-out. Browns go 3-and-out. We 3-and-out on BS call on Diggs. I think they called him on pass interference that should have been called, something like that. They go for it on 4th down. Sack Daddy Everson Griffin gets his another sack. He's got a sack every single game this year, which you guys all know. The announcers always make a big deal about it. But this is put him in very elite category. I believe he's one short of tying Jared Allen's record for consecutive sacks in a game. So nothing to look forward to in 2 weeks. So we have a bye coming up. We get a field goal. And after some garbage time, good game, game over. Vikings escape London with the win versus the Browns. We somehow did it. We somehow beat the Browns. Too close to comfort. We pulled away at the end, but when we were losing at halftime, it was only by a point. If we would have got that PAT, it would have been a tied game, but still that alone makes it look pretty bad. But let's look at the stats. I think they're slightly misleading. We'll start with the Vikings. Case Keenum was 27 for 43, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. On paper, that's a really solid game, but I thought he was very inaccurate early on, and I thought the receivers helped him out a whole lot. Adam Thielen had his drop, but otherwise they were really good, having Diggs back in the lineup looking pretty much 100%. I thought that it was a lot more due to how good our receivers are and not as much Keenum. Of course, he made some throws. He made some, kept some plays alive, finding Thielen in the end zone. But he also left a lot of yards on the field. So I think Keenum's numbers, don't expect him to be. Don't think that these numbers show that he's a 280-yard passer, right? I think if we had mediocre receivers, he's probably throwing for 230 yards, and all of a sudden it's a fairly bad game, a touchdown, 1 interception, something like that. Jared McKinnon, a very solid day. Rushing yards, not too great. 14 attempts for 50 yards, 1 touchdown, his long was only 10. Latavius Murray, 19 for 39, and his long was also 10. But I want to make a point that I think Latavius Murray's runs up the gut really slow down the other team defenses, wears them out, and that really helps Jared McKinnon. So it's a lot like we had with the bowling ball Matt Asiata. Also, we have Latavius Murray, who's a bigger threat than Asiata, so defense have to respect him. They get tired out. All of a sudden, the outside runs are wide open for Jerick McKinnon to expose, makes him look even faster than he already is. So I think it's a really good 1-2 punch. So even though Latavius Murray isn't doing great on the stat sheet thus far on the year, except for last week, I think he's helping out the Jerick McKinnon quite a bit because he's wearing down the interior of the defense. Receiving, Adam Thielen again is such a beast. 5 receptions for 98 yards, and he had his first touchdown of the year. His long was 25. Jerick McKinnon was second with 6 receptions for 72 yards. Very, very good production for the running back position. David Morgan got involved, 3 receptions for 28 yards. Rudolph had 6 for 27. You like to get more yards out of those 6 receptions, but sometimes you just gotta get those checkdowns, right? Diggs got it back in the action, and he mostly just opened it up for other receivers. 4 receptions for 27 yards. He had a few chances where he could have went deep, but Keenum didn't see him, or they were in that deep 30-yard shell that the Browns are playing, so they really took away the deep balls. Laquan Treadwell has 1 for 21. Murray had 1 for 8, and Floyd had 1 for 7. Leading the way for defense, Eric Hendricks had 9 tackles, 2 pass defense. Harrison Smith had 7 tackles and was a beast once again. 4 tackles by Anthony Barr, Ben Gedeon, and Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes is kind of off and on. He got burned. He had a pass interference, I believe, on him. But otherwise, second half, he buckled down and played very well. Anthony Harris only had 3 tackles, and so on and so forth. Fumbles, we had a fumble by Laquan Treadwell, straight out of bounds, not a big deal. Fumble pickup by Anthony Harris and Emmanuel Lemur. Kai Forbath was 4 for 4 on field goals, as long as 51, and he made his 1 extra point. So I guess the block doesn't go on his stat sheet for him, so I guess that's good for him. Sherrills was our kick returner in the game. He had 1 kick return for 24 yards. He was team tick and knee, except for that 1 kick return. And he had 2 punt returns for only 15 yards. I think he's not looking too great. I don't know if we saw the blocking setup for him, but I would expect a little more of Marcus Sherrills being our guy, for a kicking specialist. But hey, I'd rather have one guy be okay than try and activate a guy that we don't really need, like Rodney Adams, to just be a kick returner, when I'd rather just have Sherrills do it both, because he's also a good gunner. So he's just a full special team specialist. So I think you don't underlook him. His numbers might be down. He hasn't got a touchdown this year, but every now and again he will get a break one for a decent game. So let's go to the Browns quick, and then we'll go over my overall thoughts. So Kaiser, 18 for 34, 179 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interception. they really try to keep him as a game manager throughout the whole first half, and it worked as the Browns had the lead. Their defense, if their defense has their stud, full, healthy Myles Garrett, McCurdy, maybe draft a few more pieces in there, if their defense gets scary enough, Kaiser can play the way he did last week and have a very successful game. He played kind of like Teddy used to back when that was our style. We have a solid defense. Teddy, don't make mistakes. Do our bland offense, vanilla offense, and don't turn the ball over. And that's kind of what Kaiser did. A very vanilla offense, and he did decent. 179 yards against one of the best defenses in the league. Not too bad, especially with the lack of talent he has around him. So I think his numbers look bad, but he wasn't too bad. Cowell had 11 attempts for 64 yards, a touchdown, and 26 was long. Duke Johnson, 6 attempts for 33 yards, and 7 was long. He got hurt throughout the game, and also Mike Remmers got hurt for the Vikings, so hopefully he's healthy in 2 weeks. Duke Johnson, I think he's one of the actual studs on the Browns. He is almost just like Jerick McKinnon, maybe even better, because you have to remember he's on the Browns and he's putting up Jerick McKinnon type numbers. So I think if he could be like a 800-yard running back if he was on the Patriots or a team like that. So I think he's a very good guy that they have a gem in there, and if they could crank up his trade value, he'd be a guy that they could trade for maybe a second or third round pick. If he goes to the right team, he's probably worth it. Receiving for the Browns, not a whole lot. Cowell led the way with 4 for 54. Mostly his long was on that 38-yard reception that they got on that shovel pass. Lewis had 2 for 42. Their rookie tight end, Nick 2 for 19. Cowell 1 for 15. Wiggins 1 for 14. And nothing much more to talk about. Defensively,
Schubert, 11 tackles, 1 pass defense, 1 forced fumble. He looked really good. Kursky, 8 tackles, 1 pass defense. Collins, 7. Campbell, 7, so on and so forth. Their kicker was 1 for 2. He was 1 for 2 on PATs as well.
And yeah, that's the Browns. No one really cares about them. So overall, we started out slow enough. It was a jet lag from the flight. If this is one of those Zimmer games where you just don't show up for whatever reason. Well, the first half was pretty pathetic. Our offense wasn't moving the ball. Our defense looked pathetic at times, but every now and again you would say, oh, that's the Vikings defense. We just couldn't get them in third and longs. I think they just had a good play call selection that would get them in those third and shorts. And Kaiser made plays when he had to, specifically with that QB sneak and that little shovel pass. That's a good heads-up play for a rookie, and that just made our defense look bad. Those little improvisational plays, that deep ball down the sideline, that's pretty much a perfect throw to the guy that was on Xavier Rhodes, who was the best quarterback in the league. And so he made some plays. So I think the Vikings just kind of got outplayed at times in the first half. And yeah, you want to say, well, they suck. What the hell, Vikings? But I think the Browns have talent. That's really what it comes down to. Duke Johnson is a very good receiving back, and a talent where he can be a number 2, third down back. I think he'd be very good maybe if he was on the Cardinals or a team like that has an Adrian Peterson that can be the first and second down. Then he can be that receiving back on third down. I don't know how good he is at blocking, but if he has that down, he's an exceptional third down back. If they had Joe Thomas healthy, all of a sudden the outside running is very good. They should have time, no blindside pressure, because he's one of the best tackles in the game still. And so this team has talent. They just have the missing pieces around it. So every now and again they'll make some splashy plays, but it's the Browns. You know how it is. If you go back to when the Vikings were so bad, they would compete with some of the better teams every now and again and be like, wow, we were a play or two from winning it. And then they extended the lead at the end. So I think this isn't necessarily due to the Vikings being bad. Just every now and again, these bad teams will have close games with very good teams. So I think don't be too concerned. The biggest concern of this game is probably losing Mike Remmers. I don't know how serious his injury is. It doesn't sound too bad. I would expect him to be back in 2 weeks because our line's starting to get a little bit thin with Searles and Easton being a little bit hurt. I think Isadora is maybe an upgrade over both of them at left guard. I really like Isadora. Aurelia Reef needs to stay healthy at left tackle. Rashad Hill is a good backup, better than TJ Clemmings, but I would rather our starters, Remmers and Reef, has played exceptional this year. and Papa Berger at right guard has been very good too. So I think our team needs to come together, stay healthy. Our bye's coming up this next week. I'll have lots of content coming up, so stay tuned. Lots of fun stuff. We'll keep you entertained when the Vikings are off. I'm still on, so we'll see you guys in the next week in the future, and we'll see you guys next time. See ya.